Welcome to Veg-a-bond Chronicles. Sorry, new channel. I've had several channels, like I mentioned before. They had to do with obviously alcohol and drugs and stuff like that, and things that we mostly, all of us do, right? Most of us drink. Most of us like to have a good time, right? Well, that's what I'm talking about, right? We all like to have a good time. Some of us came from broken homes. Some of us came from single mothers' homes, and so on and so forth. And those are the subjects that we will be making here on this YouTube channel, because, hey, it affects a lot of us. And for the most part, most people who are homeless either are veterans, which I'm a veteran, and there's the elderly, which, you know, the elderly are out here also homeless. So, you know, I was young once, right? Working hard, trying to do my best. And then you get a little older and realize that it's all a freaking game and you're the loser. You know, there's a lot of things that are stacked against you, right? For one, right now, inflation, right? That's against everybody. Right? And so let's pick a subject. So, alcohol. When did you start drinking alcohol? Let me know down in the comments. I started drinking at a very early age. My dad was the one who was drinking. I'm not blaming my dad. I'm just saying that that's how it was introduced to me. You know, my dad and my uncle, you know, fixing cars, working on cars, staying up late, so on and so forth. So that's how I got introduced to drinking. Let me know down in the comments how you got introduced to drinking. And so from a very young age, I had a love affair with alcohol. You know, and so I started with beer, right? Like most of us. I started with Budweiser. Let me know in the comments what you started with. All right, maybe some Schlitz, maybe some Red Bull, something, you know, that's old school shit. Mad Dog 2020, you know, that's some old school stuff, man. But anyways, alcohol. And so, you know, I went through school and high school, and I was obviously drinking. So, you know, malt liquor, Zimas, all this stuff. You may not know what this is, but this was a while ago. This was in the 90s. All right. So, it was a great time to live in the 90s, best time. Anyways, yeah, I was partying a lot. We had a lot of parties over at our home. I used to live in New York at the time, and I lived with 4 women. It was a good time. Obviously, 3 sisters, a mom, things like that. You know, so it was a good time. That's where most of my drinking was, over in New York, and that was a good time. And so once I left there, I went, you know, into the military, and I had a good time. And of course, in the military, you drink even more. So I came out with a whole bunch of good friends. I came out with lifelong friends, and I recently lost my best pal, Nick. And you may say, how did you end up being homeless? You know, was it because of drinking or this or that? It wasn't because of drinking. I quit drinking in 2020. You know, things like this, they're unplanned, right? So my buddy died, right? We met in the military. We were friends for almost 30 years, so we met in the military. And so we stayed in touch through all this time. He got married, I got married, you know, he had his children, I had my children, and then we just ended up having a divorce around the same time, you know. So then we hung out again, and we're like, man, let's just hang out and have a good time. So that's what we did. And September 8th, 2024, my buddy died just recently. So then my life changed. I lost my job, I had to relocate, and then the job that I had, you know, because I relocated, well, that job said, hey man, we got to close doors too. So it's not because of drugs. It's not because I was misbehaving or anything like that. It's just how it goes. I've had a really good life. I've made, in my life, been able to make 10 grand a month. I've always had money, hard worker, show up on time kind of thing. And here I am, right now I'm in the process of transitioning to being homeless. I'm getting some help at the moment, but I'm also homeless at the moment. I'm trying to do the best I can. And the reason I'm making this channel is because this could be you. This can be anybody. This could be your grandma. This could be your uncle. This could be your next door neighbor. This could happen to you tomorrow. The thing is, you need to take care of yourself, because let's say you do drink and you are having a good time, but then you get hurt. Then you're out those couple of days. It's going to hurt you. It's going to hurt your rent. It's going to hurt your food. It's going to hurt whatever bills you need to pay, right? So if you're drinking, try to stop, bro. It took me a while to stop drinking. I understand that it's very hard, but if you're pushing 40, you really need to start thinking about slowing down on your drinking. By 50, you should be done with drinking. And the reason I say that is because I know a lot of 60, 70-year-olds that can't ever stop drinking. And they're told that you're going to not be in great shape if you don't stop drinking. And then they keep drinking. And then the bad news comes and they still can't stop drinking. So I'm just trying to reach one of you out there to listen to my story. Stay tuned, subscribe, and all that other good jazz, to follow me on my journey. So maybe if you know someone, or maybe you end up in this position, you have at least a head start over other people. So this is Veg-a-bond Chronicles, and I will see you in a later video.